Hello, Shimmers and Twinkles. So, is spontaneous enlightenment, is it real? Is it possible to go from a low IQ to an astronomical IQ in a moment? Well, yeah, it is 100%. And I'll tell you a story. So, once upon a time, there was a little duckling, and that little duckling was not as fast as his brothers and sisters. He was a little slow. And one day, she wasn't able to keep up to her mom, and she got lost. And so for days and days, she kept looking for her mom and her brothers and sisters and couldn't find them. Now, one day, a family of rabbits found the duckling half dead in the middle of the forest. And they pitied the duckling, so they took her and raised her as one of their own. Now, as the years went by, the duckling didn't have any friends. Everyone thought that she was a loser. She was no good at the hopping competitions, at the carrot cake making competitions. She had no interests that were similar to the rabbits. She was such a reject, and the rabbits were mean. So what do you do when everything you know rejects you? You agree with it, and you try to erase yourself. So the best way she knew how, which was to drown herself, because everyone knows there's nothing scarier than water to a rabbit. So she went over to the lake, crying, and as she looked down into the water, ready to give up her life, she saw the reflection of herself in the water. There's no mirrors back then. So it startled her. And in that moment, a flock of ducks flew right above her. And she could see that in the reflection. And it was the first time that she could see both a flock of ducks and her reflection in one image. And instantly it all came together. Instantly she knew. She knew why all of the suffering that she had gone through could be explained. She knew why she was so different from everyone else. What happened is that she instantly knew what she was and where she belonged. And she achieved spontaneous enlightenment. She spread her wings and flew up into the sky. And she flew in the clouds, and she flew with the other ducks, and she flew over the wolves, and she flew over the rabbits. And she was divine in comparison to the other rabbits. From a loser rabbit to a divine rabbit. And what had changed? So when she went and joined the V-shaped ducks that were flying overhead, not only did she follow them through many, many miles and adventures across the world, but she also became their leader. And the reason she became their leader is because she, out of all the ducks, was the only one who understood contrast. She was the only one who knew what it was to be a duck and what it was not to be a duck. So one morning, a fish asked the other fish, "So how's the water today?" And the other fish says, "What's water?" So you can see that there's one fish that has more eyes around their head than the other fish. And if you want someone to lead you, to be your leader, to lead you across reality, across time, you need someone who has many eyes around their heads. And you need someone who could see more than others can see. And so she became their leader. That's an amazing story, and that's a true story. It's a true story about spontaneous enlightenment. And if you continue, If you're interested in spontaneous enlightenment, if you're interested in knowing what you are and where you belong, keep watching these videos that I'm going to pull out, because that's what this channel is about. Well, actually, it's not about that. The introduction should be about becoming enlightened. But the channel is really about what to do with enlightenment and how to unravel reality and to continue to discover its mysteries. We're going to have so much fun. Okay, that's it for me. Make a good day.